This is a behind the scenes look into how I created this concept ad for Nike. Hey everyone, and welcome to this tutorial where we're gonna check out one of the animations I made for my Nike concept ad that I dropped a couple of weeks ago. And what we're gonna look at today is this animation right here, where we have the logo in the middle, a nice 3D environment background, and some sort of skateboarding text around it. This whole thing was inspired by my recent trip to LA, where I watched the skateboarders at the famous skate park at Venice Beach. And yeah, let's just jump into this tutorial. Let's start off with the text first, and then we'll get to the background. Okay, to create the text, to create this sort of spiraling movement, it's actually really simple. Let's start by making a new composition. Let's make this 2000 pixels in width and 3000 pixels in height. A nice 2:3 aspect ratio here. Next, we'll create some text. I'm using Pangram Neue Machina here. Just white text. Let's write out skate. The next step is to select the ellipse tool to create a mask. I'm holding Shift and Command to create a perfectly circled mask here. Nice. We're not really going to use this as a mask, but more as a path for the text to go around. In order to do this, we have to go to Text, then Path Options, and then select the mask. Okay. As we can see, now we have the text following the path of the mask. If I were to change the margins here, we could slide this around the circle. But what we want is we want the text to be angled in 3D space, so it kind of creates a cylinder shape. To do this, we have to go to this animate button right here and then enable per character 3D. This is the key. Because now what this allows us to do is go back to the animate button again, select rotation, and then we can angle these letters on the x-axis. We want to go to 90 degrees, just creating a perfect cylinder shape here. And then we can rotate this cylinder to our liking. Let's say minus 90 on the x-axis, just so we can see this whole thing. Okay, now to add some rotational animation to this, we could do two things. Either we could change the Z rotation, or my preferred method would be to search for first margin here in the search bar, or just go down to text, then path options, and then first margin, and then adjust this. So what I'll do is I'll just hold the option button, or Alt if you're on a Windows machine, then click the stopwatch, and then I can type out a simple expression. We'll go for time times something like 700. That's a bit too slow for my taste. Let's go for 1000. I think that should be fine. That's still a bit slow. Let's increase this to 1300. Yeah, I like this. Okay, cool. Okay, so now that we have this text element here, what we can do is we can just duplicate this by pressing Command D and then rotating it in space, just creating a different setup, maybe something like this. And as you can see, they both now rotate on different paths and kind of cross over each other. If we want to avoid this, if we want like one to come in first and then the other one to come in afterwards, what I can do is I can just rotate the Z-axis of one of these elements to my liking. This should be fine. And now we don't have this collision in the front, making the text a bit more readable. Let's just change the second text element to say something different, like days. So we have skate days. Also, let's add a third one, like an original example. Change the rotation of this. Create something interesting. Also, I also want to avoid the collision again here. All right, now it's time to create the background. For this, I have this cloud texture over here. What I'll do is I'll drop this into a new composition by dragging it over this icon. Then I'll navigate back to my animation composition and drag in this pre-comp just below the text. I can then scale this down just to adjust the size a bit. And now I'll create a new solid layer by going up to Layer, New Solid. Call this CC Environment. I'll then go to Effects and Presets and search for CC Environment and drag this onto our new solid. All right, nothing happens for now, but what we'll do is we'll go up to CC Environment over here, and then in the Environment drop-down menu, I'll select our cloud composition. This will basically use anything that's in this pre-comp as a 3D environment that we're now inside of. So if I create a new camera by going up to Layer, New Camera, and then changing this to 24 millimeters, something wide, you can now see I can now rotate around in this cloud layer, and we have a nice 3D environment going on in the background. So this means we're basically almost done. All that's left to do is we'll drop in a Nike logo, scale this down, make it 3D as well, have it sit right in the center of the whole text arrangement. And now when I rotate around, you can see everything now revolves around the logo. I'll just add a quick camera animation by adjusting the camera's position. Let's start off here and then rotate in towards the logo. Okay, that's nice. So yeah, this is the finished animation. If you want to check out the project file, I'll be putting a link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping a lot more tutorials in the future. Yeah, and also feel free to share your results with me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you guys can come up with. Cheers.